Have you ever pondered upon the darker side of our history? History, my friends, is not merely a collection of triumphant tales and glorious victories. It's also a crypt of disquieting truths. Today we delve into the shadows to bring to light 5 historical facts that will disturb you. From the bloodied sands of Rome's Colosseum to the eerie trials in Salem and the chilling repercussions of the atomic bombings, we will journey through them all. Prepare yourself as we delve into the first of these unsettling historical truths. The Roman gladiatorial games, a spectacle of strength or a horrifying reality? These games, held in the heart of Rome, were not mere exhibitions of might or skill. They were a deeply disturbing reflection of a society that reveled in violence. The gladiators, often portrayed as willing warriors, were in truth slaves and prisoners, compelled to fight to the death for the amusement of the masses. These men were not heroes by choice. They were victims of a brutal system that valued human life as little more than a source of entertainment. Stripped of their freedoms, they were forced into a life of constant combat, their fate decided by the whims of a bloodthirsty crowd. The gladiatorial games were a grim testament to the dark underbelly of Roman society, a stark contrast to the grandeur and sophistication often associated with the empire. A spectacle for some, a death sentence for others. Genghis Khan, a revered conqueror, or a merciless killer. Genghis Khan, the fearless leader of the Mongol Empire, is known for his ruthless military strategies. The tactics he employed were nothing short of terrifying. His army was a force of nature, sweeping across the plains of Asia and Europe like a tempest, leaving devastation in its wake. One of the most chilling methods used by Genghis Khan was the decimation of entire cities. His army would not just conquer, but utterly obliterate any sign of resistance. Every living being, men, women, children, would be slaughtered without mercy. These horrifying acts were not just about victory, but also about spreading fear. The sight of a city turned into a graveyard was enough to make even the bravest warriors tremble. This was the terrifying power of Genghis Khan, a man who could command not just the loyalty of his troops, but also the fear of his enemies. A conqueror to his own, a monster to others. The Salem witch trials, a quest for justice or a horrifying display of mass hysteria? In the late 17th century, the quiet settlement of Salem, Massachusetts became a hotbed of paranoia and fear. Innocent people were accused of witchcraft, a crime punishable by death in this deeply religious community. The evidence? Nothing more than spectral visions, peculiar illnesses, and the occasional fit of hysteria. Yet, despite the lack of concrete proof, the community's fear stoked the fires of suspicion. Neighbor turned against neighbor, friend against friend, all in a desperate bid to purge the perceived evil among them. The result was a horrifying spectacle that led to the unjust execution of 20 people and the imprisonment of many more. The Salem witch trials stand as a stark reminder of the destructive power of fear and the tragic consequences of mass hysteria. An era that serves as a chilling testament to the human capacity for unfounded fear and unthinkable acts. An era of unfounded fear and unthinkable acts. The atomic bombings, a necessary evil or a chilling demonstration of power. In the waning days of the Second World War, 2 cities in Japan, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, bore the brunt of a new and terrifying weapon. The atomic bombings carried out by the United States marked the first and only time nuclear weapons have been used in warfare. The immediate aftermath was nothing short of horrific. Tens of thousands of lives were extinguished in an instant, and entire cities were reduced to rubble. Those who survived the initial blast were left to contend with injuries and illnesses caused by radiation exposure. The genetic toll of the bombings was felt for generations, with children born years after the bombings suffering from birth defects and other health complications. The bombings brought an abrupt end to the war, but at what cost? They also ushered in a new era of nuclear proliferation and fear, a decision that changed the world forever. These disturbing facts from our history, what can they teach us? They reveal the darker aspects of human nature and society. The brutal reality of the Roman gladiators Genghis Khan's terrifying tactics, the frightful Salem witch trials, and the horrifying atomic bombings all serve to remind us of our capacity for destruction and cruelty. Yet, they also demonstrate our potential for growth and change. These unsettling truths should not be a source of despair, but a call to action. May we remember these unsettling truths not to dwell in the past, but to shape a better future.